Hey LAP, this is Brandon Reisinger coming to you with your chairman's report. Order bank this week, we've got 34,768 escapes, 6,459 Corsairs for a total of 41,227. Running right around an 8-hour schedule this week, 8 to 8:05, with the exception of, I know last night shift broke down and ran quite a bit longer. They were down for a while though. Company is telling me that they're planning for overtime again next week, but you know, we hear that every week. Well, I'll believe it when I see it, when the parts can keep up, right? We did get the company to start on Tuesday putting the build number out for the shifts. Gotten some really good feedback on that. When we were doing that, we did tell them we want a real number. So, you know, I know we've got the DPR that everybody looks at on the computer, but that's not always our number. We've got units that we're making up where we ran 4 hours on a day last week. Honestly, we've got units that we're making up from where they wanted to run 10, you know, several weeks ago. So I told them, if you plan on running the DPR and you want another 30 units today, add those 30 units in, give us that number. I want a real number. Now, one thing to keep in mind, that number is off the end of the flat top. So, you know, when they put that number out, if it's 595 like it was yesterday, that's what they want off of the end of the flat top. If the system has some space in it, there's some air, you're probably looking at running another 10 units back in clamshells. You might be looking at running another 15 to 20 in trim. It could vary. As for body and paint a lot of times aren't even affected by that number so much. It kind of is what it is. If the stacker's full, if the stacker's empty, there's a lot of room for a lot of space in there. If you're in body 2 or over in the build-up areas in body, you know, like hoods and gates, they run service parts over there. So you might see something where we're running 8s and body shop's running 10, or parts of body shop's running 10. If there's a bunch of space in the stacker, you might see all of paint and body running 10, which we've seen some this week. So we're trying to work out a way to give you all a better idea over in paint and body of what it's going to look like. But that number is for the end of the flat top. There's bargainer elections this week. The polls actually opened this morning at 5 a.m. They'll be open until 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. So make sure you get up there, take a chance to vote. There's 4 candidates. It's a vote for one. It won't take you but a second to run in there, choose who you want to support, take off and head to work or head home, depending on which end of the shift you're on. We're going to have an adopt-a-child gate collection. That's going to be next Wednesday, the 5th. The adopt-a-child is pretty far behind this year. I don't know if you all have noticed or not. We used to do a lot of 50-50 raffles and the pick'em boards for football games and stuff like that. That is technically considered gambling, and the gambling license that we were going through one of our charities, they did not renew, so we don't have the ability to do those right now. We're working on something through the government to get us basically a free pass, because it's not for profit to be able to do those boards again. But because we haven't been able to do them this year, our adopt-a-child has suffered pretty hard. We're pretty far behind the 8 ball, and anybody that's ever been involved in adopt-a-child knows what a great program that is. So we're wanting to make sure that we've got the funds to be able to get plenty of kids in. So we are going to have a gate collection. Wednesday they'll be doing that before work on day shift, and again before work on night shift. I'll be out there. You'll see the committee and several of the appointeds. Bring some cash with you. If $1 is what you can spare, that's great. If you feel like bringing a $100 bill, we'll take that too. You know, anything you can give will help. We've got financial education courses on October 11th at LAP Hall. Those are going to be at 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. If you're interested in that, you can swing by the hall or get with one of the committeemen and we can give you some more information on it. LAP's Trunk or Treat event is going to be on October 29th at the LAP Hall. They're actually going to be doing that inside this year, just to make sure that we can survive whatever the weather may throw at us. But it'll be a good event. If you've got small children, actually, you know what, even if you've got some older children, if you want to bring them up there, it's a good time. Everybody seems to enjoy it. If you're interested in donating any candy, you can bring that up to the hall, and they'll accept those donations anywhere between now and the 29th. You can show up the day of with it. We'd be happy to take it. Starting on our next bi-weekly update, I'm going to have the national contract proposals put on the back of the update, so that anybody that has any ideas at all, anything you'd like to see in the contract, anything you'd like to see changed, you can fill that out. Get it back to your committeeman, bring it up to the union office, however you want to turn it in, but we'll take those. And then I think on the following update, we're going to put out some for the local proposals as well. We have a bass tournament coming up on October 9th. The deadline to enter is going to be October 4th. Entry fee is $60 per boat. The forms to enter can be had at either one of the halls, LAP or KTP. Got a chance to go to the Super Duty reveal at Churchill Downs the other night. That was a pretty good time. You know, they brought out all the new trucks. It was a pretty cool event. Also got a chance to meet and spend some time with Mr. Savona and Farley from Ford, as well as the mayor of Louisville and the governor of Kentucky. Can't say that the event wasn't about LAP, it was for KTP, but we had some good conversations about LAP as well, so it wasn't a bad thing. We got a union meeting coming up Tuesday the 11th. That's going to be at the LAP Hall at 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Try to make it to one of those. Also, the quiz. We haven't done a quiz in a few weeks now. Been busy, had a lot going on with the travel to sub-council and everything. We are going to put a quiz on this week's. We'll put a link to it down at the bottom. Get on there, do the best you can with it, and we'll announce the winner next week. That's all I've got for you this week. Make sure you get out and vote, and have a good weekend. Thanks, LEP.